everyone. Welcome back to Strategy Saturday. So it's Anne here with you, your nurse and transformational health coach. So today we're talking about SMART goals in nursing. So this will kind of help us set those goals for your career and in your life and help you reach them, right? So I know recently, we feel like healthcare has set really unrealistic goals for us, right? Working short, doing more, go, all these pressures, try to do more with less, it's leading to frustrations, it's leading to burnout, right? So I know that we need to change that culture, and it's not going to happen overnight. It took 100 years to get us to this point, right? So it's going to take a little bit of time to change that whole paradigm around nursing culture, but we need to be that change. It starts with each one of us taking a stand for ourselves and our own well-being. So we have to be able to fill our own cup with our, what we need, and then have the fuel to kind of get through the days that are horribly draining. So one thing to help us is to have SMART goals. So goal setting is often overlooked, especially in our busy kind of stressful life, especially in that healthcare environment and even in your personal life. But when you set goals in your life and career, it helps you kind of stay focused and can eliminate some of the stress because you're able to kind of break it down into steps, right? Those achievable steps, those small steps that get you to where you want to go, and then gives you a plan to kind of follow. So this information comes from two different articles, one by Kyle Strickland and another by Lauren Cataluca. So as a new nurse, we understand how to set realistic goals, I should say, is kind of critical in our development. It helps you stay focused, helps you stay determined, it helps you advance your career. Even some of those of us that are, a little seasoned, what do we want to do next? What's our next step? Do we want to keep continuing our certifications? Do we want to advance even more? Do we want to go on to more schooling? Do we want to change and become a teacher? It works for all of us, right? So setting goals in nursing. So for the most part, goals help you kind of give you that direction, as I said, and give you a greater sense of deeper purpose with things. So having those clear objectives can help you focus on the task at hand and keep you kind of motivated when you get stressed or even frustrated. Plus, there's that act of setting nursing goals that gives you the chance to take stock of your professional strengths as well, right? What are you good at? What skills do you have? What do you need to kind of develop or hone or, rehone for some of us? So the trick is learning and knowing how to create them in such a way that you're setting yourself up for success. So SMART goals. So that's the methodology that you kind of use to clearly define goals using the 5 attributes. So SMART, the S-M-A-R-T, it all stands for something, right? SMART goal. So S, specific. So that goal covers one clearly defined area that's very easy and direct to understand. For example, rather than saying that you want to improve your knowledge of mental health, consider committing to attending at least 2 conferences about depression and anxiety in the coming year, because mental health is huge, right? You want to break it down into doable, achievable steps. And those are kind of the next thing. Measurable, the M. So the goal has to have a measurable outcome that indicates that you've achieved that goal, right? You have to have some way of defining what success will look like for you. For example, you could set a goal of receiving a 5% pay raise within the next 3 years. That'll happen, but we're all optimistic, right? A is achievable. That goal is challenging, but it's realistically achievable for your skills, resources, and your capabilities. So you also need the skills, knowledge, and resources necessary to accomplish it. So don't, I'm going to, do surgery today. Obviously, that's not within our wheelhouse. But as a nursing student, some of your students, you probably didn't have any time to do reading outside of your schoolwork, right? Now that you're a professional, you have those days off. What would you like to do? Maybe a goal of reading 5 industry or specific related to more your specialty articles a week, a way to, continue professional development. Get ahead on your CEUs, right? Not wait till the very last minute, like some of us have been known to do. Are relevant or realistic. So the goal supports that broader need of your floor, of your department, of your organization. A realistic goal is relevant to your current priorities. It's naturally within your short and long-term career plans as well. So it's important that you dream, sometimes of working on these different specialty areas. If you want to maybe work as a neuroscience nurse in San Francisco, per se, but your family lives on the East Coast and your children are still in school and you're not really sure how that could be realistic, but you can break it into smaller bite-sized objectives, right? To finally get to that result that you want to move to San Francisco. Find 10 hospitals and facilities in the Bay Area where you'd like to work. Establish those contacts now, make those connections. T is timely. So there's a clear due date when the goal needs to be accomplished or achieved. But having that deadline will kind of keep you on track and focus, refocus you if you're very off course. Without that set timeline, it can be easy to be a procrastinator, right? So say your goal was simply to take the NCLEX. In this situation, lack of a timeline makes it harder for you to keep yourself on track and accountable for getting to that finish line, right? Instead, set that definite goal. I want to do this in 6 months. So SMART goals, how can they be used in nursing? So setting those goals is critical to kind of help you define that framework and keep you on track. As I said, they keep you focused and motivated, especially when it's stressful and overwhelming. Okay, these are the steps I've set out. Let me just follow the steps. Stay focused on what's right in front of you, right? So document your progress and your achievements, a big step forward, proving you're ready to move on to the next level in the career that you're headed toward, right? Set those objectives. It's a great self-development tool as well, but it's also a chance to kind of open up a conversation with the manager too. Like, hey, I want to do this. What steps do I need to take? Can you help me figure this out? Set these goals. So tips for achieving these SMART goals. So 4 tips here, write them down. Kind of no-brainer, right? But it makes them more real, it makes them tangible, it makes them something that you're going to see every day too, right? Identify any details that maybe you need to tweak or objectives that are part of that SMART goal, making them possible. Then track them. You want to move toward those goals, right? Being clear on task to let you know what you've achieved along the way, and if you're getting closer to that end game, that end goal. Tip number 3, celebrate the small victories, right? Cheer yourself on. So, big goals are important. It's also good to think of all those small little milestones that are getting you to that point, right? All those small steps, that 1% progression will get you to that goal that you're trying to achieve. Because sometimes that big goal seems so far out there. For example, our overarching goal is to get into an MSM program, right? Small victory, you took your CRE, that you have been putting out for forever. The 4th tip, run your own race, right? Be you. Have that goal be yours and yours alone. Don't add any compare and despair into that as well. So you can be influenced sometimes by colleagues and friends that are kind of on the same game plan, trying to accomplish the same potential goals. And be you. Make sure that you're just headed toward things that are for you, and the things that mean the most to you are still getting your attention. To focus on what other people do can, sometimes bring us down, right? Don't compare and despair. So understand your motivations too, right? What's the motivation behind this goal? What's the why? Explore your deeper motivations and use them to kind of fuel your fire, right? So when you're in that goal setting mode, consider all areas that you can kind of improve in. Efficiency, performance accuracy, patient care improvements, mentorship, career planning, all those kind of areas where you could advance your career that way. So you can use SMART goals for self-care too, right? So this week I'm going to do 3 days of 10 minutes of meditation, or I'm going to do 2 days of 30 minutes of movement, or I'm going to schedule a 1 hour me time or co-view day. Look into the ways to do that, right? Or I'm going to look into 2 ways to potentially, do some self-care, one online and one in person. Something to fuel myself by next Saturday. Make sure you have that goal set. So make sure it's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Don't set goals that are too big and then you fall short and then you beat yourself up, right? We don't want that either. We want you to have success with this. As I said, 1% progression is enough. We're dealing with enough stress and overwhelm. We don't need to set goals that are overwhelming us as well, right? So what SMART goals are you going to make for yourself this week? List them below, right? So we can support each other. Remember, I'm here helping professionals with overwhelming challenges and burnout to build that resilience and take ownership for their well-being. And if you need support, I'm always here for you. Make sure you seek professional support and help if you need it to go through some real struggles. And thanks for joining me this week again for Strategy Saturday, where we explore how to navigate the challenges of nursing. Join me next week, and everyone have a great weekend.